pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Appreciate the board being here. Appreciate staff being here. Definitely challenging times we see ourselves in. Hello to everyone out there in Facebook Live land. Greetings from Geauga Park District. Hope you and your family are doing well. I just want to encourage everyone to speak up a little bit so we can get a good audio on Facebook Live and get a good audio and video for the recording. So thanks everyone for being here. We'll go ahead and call the roll. Mrs. DeTore?
Here.
Mr. Bates? Here. And Mr. Preston?
Here.
First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda and the addendum items.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mrs. DeTore?
Yes.
And Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is to approve or amend the meeting minutes from our March 10th, 2020 board meeting. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on the minutes? Any discussion? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead and call the vote. Mr. Bates?
Yes.
Mr. Preston?
Yes.
And Mrs. DeTore?
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is the presentation of the financial statement for the month of March, ending March 31st, 2020. We have the financial statement in the board packet. Any questions on the financial statement?
I do have a quick one. I see, can you explain to me, you have the auditor fees for real estate under auditor fees, but then it's listed again down below under general tax collection?
That's correct.
What?
We actually received $3,241,000. Of that, $52,000 has to be expensed back as auditor fees. So I show it, we actually do receive that, but we have to give it back.
Oh, okay, so it's
Right,
the in
and
and
that's
out.
the way the auditor, state auditor likes to see it presented. We
Gotcha.
actually receive it, and then we actually have to expense it back.
Okay, gotcha. And then there was also a pretty large donation.
Yes, we received another distribution from the John and Maida Dennis Trust Foundation. So this puts us, do you recall the grand
I
total?
have it. It's $348,785.90 from July of last year through now, as their
Through
estate
now.
was settled.
Yeah,
Wow.
Very nice.
incredible. All right. No other questions? The monthly financial statement for the month of March will be entered into the record. Moving on to the vouchers, entertain a motion to approve the vouchers with the exception of the vouchers for Arms and Preston. So with the exception of those two.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. Are we approving them individually like we did from the previous month? Okay. So this is without them, and then are we going to vote individually?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
I did have one, and I just can't find it. Where are you at? Question. Let me look. Oh, there it is. You guys had a repair on a tractor that was like $3,000 flat. Is that?
No,
No.
it wasn't just 3,000, it was, I think below that 3,000, there is another.
Oh, 165.
Right, that's what it was.
Okay, so it was just split up into two payments or something.
Correct.
That's all I have.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay, now we'll call the vote to approve all vouchers except Arms and Preston.
So moved.
Oh, we have a motion. Yeah, okay, I'm going to call the vote. Mrs. DeTore,
Yes.
Mr. Preston,
Yes.
and Mr. Bates.
Yes.
Okay, now entertain a motion to approve the vouchers for Preston.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on, I think there's only one. Any questions on that one? All right, if not, call the vote. Mr. Bates,
Yes.
Mrs. DeTore,
Yes.
and Mr. Preston. Stay.
Yeah, stay. I would stay.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the vouchers for Arms.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on that one? Not, we'll call the vote. Mr. Preston,
Yes.
Mrs. DeTore,
Yes.
and Mr. Bates.
Abstain.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to new business, just one financial matter for new business, resolution number 520, a budget amendment. This was at the request of our county auditor to go ahead and appropriate some money to prepare for any expenses for COVID-19. So I'll go ahead and set up the memorandum. It serves as a request to approve the appropriation transfers of $3,000 for operations and $1,500 for the Rangers for budget supplies, and $5,600 for administration from budgeted other account into the COVID-19 expense accounts to cover expenses incurred from the COVID-19 virus. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Can you kind of go into a little bit of that for us?
Yeah, in the case of operations, a number of cleaning supplies we might be able to get reimbursed for, PPE, personal protective equipment, N95 masks. We do still have our maintenance crew doing custodial work, in particular cleaning our restrooms. Rangers, Mike, you want to comment on some of the stuff for the Rangers?
Yeah, just operations and Rangers have been working pretty closely in terms of getting masks, supplies, stuff like that, because they're not easy to find for anyone, including law enforcement. So we've kind of combined our forces and not sure exactly what we have coming, but we do have masks on the way. We did get more gloves, more Lysol sprays. We have the ozone machines coming in, which will clean out the cars. You can plug them in once you're done. Matt, maybe.
I was going to say, we anticipate too, like, the latex gloves and that the guys use a lot when they're doing custodial work in restrooms, or a little bit more probably than usual, just, dealing with trash and everything right now, so.
And some of these things are supplies like the latex gloves we would ordinarily purchase, but the county auditor thinks that there may be reimbursement coming. So
Okay.
we're not over-expensing, but at the same time, we want our staff to be safe.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I was going to say also, if we do have something else that spikes up, how they're talking about in the fall or something else spikes, I think we're doing enough to kind of give ourselves a little cushion so we don't have to go into panic mode once again.
Yeah. So, what about administrative, Gloria? Oh, go
What we're
ahead.
anticipating here and what we've seen are cancellations of reservations that were made in December through the summer. So we're preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. But I think working with Cheryl, we thought maybe through June, if anything is canceled. We've already returned, I believe, close to $3,000 in reservation fees.
So if you help me understand why then, okay, so you're going to move 5,600 out of one into another. What does that do though? I mean, is that because you can claim it as a loss from that 3,000? Like, I just don't understand. I'm sorry.
What we'll do with that is we'll write a check to the bank account, to the Huntington bank account, where the credit cards are charged and returned. And so we'll deposit that into that account so it does not withdraw.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
I don't know if you realize this, we receive money into the Huntington account on a monthly basis. We write a check out of that and put it into the treasury. So we have just sent a check to the treasury and we're somewhat depleted, so this will take care of any
Gotcha.
returns that occur.
Makes sense.
And in the case of any COVID-19 reimbursements that may come, it needs to be appropriated through the county auditor.
Sure.
So, setting up that fund. All right, any other questions? If not, we'll call the vote for resolution number 520. Mr. Preston?
Yes.
Mrs. Vittori?
Yes.
And Mr. Bates?
Yes.
All right, moving on to commissioner's time. I don't have a lot other than to say park visitation is up.
I was just going to ask.
People are looking for things to do. We just got our car counter numbers in for the first 2 weeks. They were up across the board with the exception of maybe 2 parks. So I'll get those to you. They're interesting to share. I'll share those in an email. So parks are busy. People are looking to get outside. It's despite the circumstances, it's gratifying to be able to play a role in people's lives. So people are looking to get out, and I did a release through our Sandy and our marketing department, and anytime we can be there for people's physical, mental, and social, albeit social distancing and spiritual well-being, it's really gratifying. So park visitation numbers are up. For some of the other things we're doing, we're really proud of our naturalist department under the leadership of Chief Naturalist John Kolar. Immediately jumped on educational videos. They're on our Geauga Park District YouTube channel. All of our staff, particularly our management team, has done a tremendous job. Was able to work with Matt, immediately react to the need to keep restrooms open, while at the same time ensuring staff safety and public safety. So done some creative things through marketing, asking people to use the restrooms before they come, but restrooms are spotless. So our indoor lodges are closed, but that will come back around. Just seeing a lot of people using our parks. Our rangers are ensuring social distancing. We've got a biggest fish contest up and running. We've got a coloring contest up and running, which my wife even tells me she's going to do it at her age. So, a coloring contest, activity sheets through Vicki Liptak, our graphic designer. She's taken a number of our old activity sheets, some things that the kids can do at home. We reached out to all the Geauga County schools about our naturalist YouTube videos. So we're seeing a couple of our science teachers utilize the naturalist videos. What else is going on, folks? I'm sure it's just a number of creative ways to stay engaged with the public despite COVID-19. So,
Are you still allowing people to use, I know the parks that I've been in, I've seen the playgrounds taped off, any swing sets, and I know that the buildings are closed, but are people still allowed to utilize like the pavilions and picnic tables and stuff? Are you still allowing them to use?
We are. We've discouraged the use of picnic table tops. We've seen some people cover them with table coverings, indoor grills, but people they're bored. They're doing it anyway.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure. So as of right now, you have canceled all indoor through when? You said the end of June?
May 1st.
Yes.
Oh, just May 1st, but they have but they can cancel should they like it.
Yeah, right now they're canceling most of May.
Most of
the contacts that I'm receiving. Lori had mentioned 3,000. It's been about a total of 7,900 since March 23rd.
cancellations.
Cancellations.
Gotcha.
But we do have about 2,400 at least in new reservations.
Oh, okay.
People are now bumping them out to August, July, September.
So are you seeing at this point very little remaining reservations left since everybody's now pushing all the way into almost fall?
Well, no, a lot of the May people have been calling me. Some are just canceling, others are saying, how long do I have? And I let them know that we always give a 7-day minimum,
Okay.
and we'll still give a full refund. So they're still kind of hanging on to it,
Waiting,
even though
yeah.
they know that they'll likely cancel graduation parties.
So I already have 3 people asking, I have ones in June. I said, that's not up to us, that's up to the governor to say when you can have large group gatherings again, so.
Right.
Right.
And in the case of things like graduation parties, those are momentous occasions. And so I don't blame people for waiting till the last minute. So much like everyone else, we're taking it day to day, remaining fluid, so working with people. So I told staff, I said, I do not want to go up against the mother or the father of a bride. So we did have a couple weddings that had to cancel, and they did that of their own accord. So.
Right. The people are being creative too. You see a lot of more open house style rather than just a
Right.
strict timeline. Can I ask you, do you have anything projected, or through May 1st, I know that you've canceled, but what about programming? What types of things, or when are you going to, are we going to modify so that they're smaller groups under 10, or are we projecting anything for the summer?
Yeah.
Camps, stuff like that,
Right. We're still allowing people to register for camps because we think they're far enough out, and then we have to get creative and not having as many kids on a certain day, or doing like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, Tuesday, Thursday schedule. That's one of the things we're looking at for this building and for staff. We can bring people on a rotating schedule. So much like everyone, just taking it day to day. We did decide just yesterday to go ahead and cancel the Caveman Crawl. It's a huge turnout.
Oh, yeah.
It's as far out as June 14th, but people are looking to register. So we felt we owe them an answer. Those are the larger events, much like what we had with SAP's Horizon Sunday, turnout of 1,000 we had to cancel. But
Right.
no, we'll remain creative, work with John to say, can we accommodate groups of 10 or smaller? In the case of summer camps, can we go certain days of the week like I just described, and do half the kids certain days, half the kids others. So, but much of May is just, as you know, easing back into things. I see even where restaurants are going to
Yeah, stagger.
set up tables in each corner, and much like what we did here today. So
I had a few people asking me about ropes course, since there's, you're only allowed X amount of people on that anyways. Do you anticipate that still opening?
that's the plan.
June?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah, we're hopeful by Memorial Day, when those things are scheduled to open, that we can open them in some creative way through social distancing.
Sure.
So, yeah. But so far so good. Really proud of staff. We kept staff working. We set up a COVID-19 lead bank for those staff. Cheryl had a few staff. They strictly worked the front desk. They worked the telephones. So to give some newer employees access to some of our leave, some of us old timers that could donate some leave. So we've been able to avoid our staff having to file for unemployment and go on furlough. So that's a good thing. So
How about Matt? How about you? Are we held up on any of our construction? I mean, not in-house clearly because you're still working, but
No, actually, we've been able with the projects to keep things moving along well. We've been able to kind of keep Wellness Gorge. We're looking at probably after the beginning of May that contract will be starting. We're actually having a kickoff meeting tomorrow for the Sunnybrook Restoration Project, which was the design-build one. So that's pretty much on schedule. Beaver Creek, the RFP is out, we shortlisted, and that is out for that design-build project. So overall, we're in pretty good shape. Our construction crew in-house is helping out with, we had quite a bit of storm damage the last couple of weeks, so they're helping out with some things like washed out trail culverts and some stuff like that. So again, typically this time of year with the weather, it's hard to kind of get started. So hopefully if things go well, we'll be in good shape even with them in May. Overall, the operations guys, we've implemented some things like basically one guy per truck. And with the grass starting to grow here, we're getting back into mowing and that. But right now we're doing pretty good with being able to keep guys kind of distant and rotating a little bit where not getting a lot of guys in the shops. Most of the zones are 3 to 4 guys, so it's kind of easy getting them out, working on things and keeping them separated. So we have been able to kind of keep on top of things with the shelters being closed. That allows them to kind of maybe focus in more on the restrooms and the trash removal and that stuff. So it's been manageable.
good.
All right. Anything else for Commissioner's time?
I don't know. I think I saw on there, I'm just curious if the June meeting, because it's pretty early in the month, I think. Do you have it with you, Cheryl? Yeah, if we could move it 1 week,
Okay.
if that's possible with everybody else's schedule.
We'll move to the 16th.
Please. Please. If you guys are available.
The 12th, all right for the May?
Yeah. Had it out of time for June.
Okay.
Is that all right with never go anywhere.
So in regards to the May board meeting, the next board meeting will be Tuesday, May 12th at 8:30 a.m. We'll go with location to be determined at this point, so
Okay.
see how things go. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Preston,
Yes.
Mrs. Vittori,
Yes.
and Mr. Bates.
Yes.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.